All right, so you guys feel free to ask questions. This is a live course at Ivy Tech, and just know, my YouTube viewers, that this is a little rough, so understand that. This is not a professional recording. We are working on our first exercise in type class, and we are going to share with you guys how to properly load fonts in font management software. This is software that would oftentimes be used in industry. So I have our original exercise files, which we downloaded from our course in Ivy Learn. Let me shrink that a little bit. And I have opened up what is called Font Agent. Font Agent, what this does is allows you to load a bunch of fonts without it crashing your computer. It lets you organize fonts by project too. So when you guys have clients, you'll have certain fonts you'll use for clients, and you can organize your font folder per client. We don't activate the fonts unless we need them. If we activated all the fonts, it would crash our computer. So this is a workflow efficiency sort of thing, why this software was developed. So we're going to add some of the fonts that we are going to use for our first project. Let's see here. I'm going to see what we have available. Okay, I think I'll try with a new set. So I'm going to move this over here and this right here. Okay, so this is the font management software. There's a tools area up at the top, assuming you have this selected, okay? You have to have this clicked. If you have something else clicked, you won't see Font Agent up there. So make sure you have that clicked, activated. And you go to tools and you say, hey, I'm going to do new set of fonts. And you can name this set, let's call it exercise 1. And I'm going to hit save. Oh, look, I put a little exercise 1 out there. Isn't that nice? Now, I did learn last semester that this was acting a little goofy. We'll see if it's acting right, but either way, we'll still use it. I am going to right-click on exercise 1, and I am going to import fonts. I'm going to choose that option. Now, we have to know where our project download went to. So if you know it was on your desktop, well, on the Mac here you see desktop is over to the left-hand side. I can click on desktop. I can then open up my files for exercise 1 folder. And all I had to do was double-click on it. It automatically knew where to get the fonts. Now, it does come up with a warning that says, hey, or it might. It says no errors, no warning here. But it does say, hey, there's a duplicate font, meaning I already have one of those fonts loaded in the system. I'm okay with that. So it's just a little report. This is nothing to be worried about. So I hit OK. Now let's go back. You see how it went over to August 24th? It created a folder. This is what it did last semester as well. Let's go to exercise 1 and see, it didn't put them there. It's doing the same thing it did last semester. We had a little glitch. Yeah. So if I could rename that. Yes, let's do this instead. We'll work around its little glitch. So in the August 24th, 2017, we can right-click on it and we can rename it and we can call that exercise 1. Sorry, guys. Nothing in life is perfect. And I can delete this set. If I right-click on this one, I just hit delete set. There we go.
It didn't automatically import when I got it.
Okay, if it didn't automatically import, what we can do is when you go to, let me get a new set here. And let me give it a set name. I'm going to just call it test. And then I'm going to right click and, or I'm sorry, let's see, get it going here. Right click, import fonts. Now if it doesn't recognize that folder, you may have to click on the folder, go inside the folder to the 5 classic typefaces folder, or well, the fonts one, I'm sorry, that's the Microsoft Word one. Find the fonts for exercise 1, and then go in and open them that way. Okay? Yeah, awesome. Okay, I'm going to delete that set. All right. But it didn't work with the set. It should automatically put in a smart set. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So in the import history, I just renamed that exercise 1. Now, I could either activate these. These fonts are loaded, but they're not activated. You can't use them in software yet. If you open Photoshop or InDesign or anything, these fonts would not be available. Okay, they're just loaded. They're parked there waiting for us to use them. To activate the entire set, which is what we really want to do, we can float our cursor over that imported set, and there's a little on-off switch, and it will turn them all on. See, it's doing it right now. They're getting. It'll take a minute because there's a lot of fonts here. You're like, wait a second. You only gave me Baskerville, Bodoni, Century Expanded, Garamond, and Helvetica. Why do I have so many? That's a lot of fonts there. I told you we're using five typefaces. Fonts are different than typefaces, aren't they?
Yeah. So you gave us 5 typefaces, but there's variations which are known as the fonts.
Yes. I gave you 5 typefaces that we're going to use, but those typefaces have variations in each of them. So, for instance, Garamond has regular, bold, italic, and bold italic. Those are called styles. So we have different type styles. There's a font for each of the styles. There's a font for regular, Garamond regular. There's a font for Garamond bold, a font file for Garamond italic, and a font file for Garamond bold italic.
So is the word font just a slang term for a typeface style?
Technically, a lot of people use the font in slang just to, or use the term font as slang when they really mean typeface. When we're using proper nomenclature, proper naming, we reference fonts as the actual files that we load.
Okay, so that's like,
yep.
Like an image has a JPEG file.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. All right, these are all activated. Look at Helvetica, it's got like 20 some odd different. Helvetica New has a ton of options. So that one has like 20 some styles. Now, this is good. We can close out of it. It's working behind the scenes, okay? Even if we quit Font Agent Pro, or Font Agent 7, whatever, it's still working, all right? So we just learned something new. We learned how to load fonts and then activate them through industry standard font management software. Now, if you don't have this, here's how you load fonts at home. You really should not load them here this way. If you took this home and you're like, dang, I don't have Font Agent and I don't want to spend $90. Okay, I get it. But be warned, when you load fonts, your computer can act like it's got a virus. So keep kind of a physical, good old-fashioned piece of paper and write down what fonts you loaded when. Okay? That way, if you know, if your computer's acting funky, you can get on there and delete those fonts. So here's how we do it if we don't have the font management software. We go to the fonts folder inside of our files, and we simply can double-click on the font and then hit Install Font. But we have to do that how many times for Helvetica? 27. This takes way too long. So Bodoni, Baskerville, that's not so bad. Okay, Bodoni has a little bit more. Century Expanded, oh, super easy. Garamond Pro, only 4 or 5. 4. Helvetica New, oh my god, I gotta click 2,000 million times. That's a lot of fonts. So again, the Font Agent software also helps with efficiency and saving you time. Okay.
Just install.
Yeah, I was looking for install.
You have to use for the PCs.
Exactly. Now, if you are on a PC, and I don't know what operating system you have, and the new one, they still haven't loaded in my office, but they loaded in my other classroom where I teach. I teach on both PC and Mac. I have to examine well, we can't load fonts on PC here in our classrooms because our central services offices has a rule that we can't do that on any PCs. They don't want anything changing. And we're like, but we are a graphics program. You have to let us load fonts. And they're like, well, we're sorry for your luck. And so we can load fonts on the Macs. But if you're in a PC classroom here, or you're even in the open lab using a PC, you will get so frustrated because you want to load a font, and it won't let you. Okay, I can't do anything about that. The big bosses are like, I don't know, I'm sure they have their reasons, but it just really is a little irritating. So if you need to load fonts for a project because you've used some special fonts, use a Mac. All right? At home, not a problem. Okay. Just want to let you know. Oh, by the way, while we're talking about computers, if you need to use a computer because your software is not working or you don't have it yet or whatever, the library, which is over there, that parking garage that's over there, there's a library down the bottom floor of that, and they have at least 5 or 6 PCs over there that have the whole Adobe Creative Suite. I don't think you can load fonts there either. And we have instructed them to load some of the basics that we use for this class. Okay, so your projects that we're doing right now, IT has supposed to have loaded a good set of fonts that we use on a regular basis. Okay, let's move on, shall we? So we have